Am I the asshole for freaking out on my bridesmaid when she publicly told me how ugly I looked in my dress? So 22F, and here's what happened. I'm getting married next weekend and, of course, I wanted everything to be perfect, including my wedding dress. I spent hundreds of dollars on this custom-made monstrosity that I was sure would make me feel like a princess. The girls were all helping me get ready for the big day when our bridesmaid, Jade, comes over and starts giving me her expert opinion on my outfit. I'm standing in front of the mirror with Devin and Keely helping me put on my final touches, and Jade walks up to us. She says, "Girl, I don't think that dress is doing you any favors." I ask her what she means, and she takes a closer look at the dress. She says, "Honestly, it's just not flattering on you, those colors aren't good on your skin tone, and that neckline makes you look like you're trying too hard." Devin chimes in, saying, "Yeah, it looks a little bit baggy," to which Jade adds, "And those straps are giving me weirdness vibes." At this point, I'm standing there with my mouth hanging open, feeling like all eyes were on me. I try to brush it off and say something cool, but inside I'm dying. These are the women who are supposed to be supporting me today, not tearing me down. So I take a deep breath and try to put on a smile, saying thank you for their honesty. But as soon as we leave that room, I lose it. I start crying because all those words of criticism just hit home. Jade comes over and tries to comfort me, telling me she was trying to help but clearly didn't mean to hurt my feelings. Devin just shrugs and says sorry, which isn't good enough for me right now. Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole for telling my sister I won't keep covering for her lies to our parents anymore? So 20M, and here's what happened. My sister, Sawyer, has been getting into all sorts of trouble lately, and it's mostly because she's always making up stories about where she is or who she was with. She's got this thing where she'll lie to me, and our parents, about where she is at 7 p.m. on a school night, saying she's studying or hanging out with friends when really she's just out partying with her friends. For months now, I've been covering for her by telling Mom and Dad that Sawyer was home when they asked. It's gotten to the point where I'm doing it for every single one of these fake stories, whether it's saying she was at a friend's house having a study session when in reality we were watching a movie together, or claiming she was out running errands when really she was just getting drunk with her friends. The final straw came last night when Sawyer told me that Hannah had called and was worried about her because she'd been MIA for hours. I immediately texted Mom, telling her the same fake story I've always given, that Sawyer was at Hannah's house studying. But then I started to feel really guilty, knowing I was lying again. I confronted Sawyer about it afterwards, explaining how tired I am of covering for all these lies and how it's affecting our relationship with Mom and Dad. She got defensive, saying, "You're always so uptight," and that I'm the one who's always controlling her. But honestly, I feel like she's being pretty selfish here. I've been sacrificing my own time to cover up for her when she's having fun. Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole for setting a boundary with my friend Gemma after she repeatedly took me up on my offers of help without ever asking how I was doing? So I've been friends with Gemma since college, and over the years, we've developed this dynamic where whenever she needs something, whether it's a place to stay, money, or emotional support, she automatically knows who to call. Which, at first, I didn't mind because I genuinely enjoyed helping her out. But as time went on, I realized that I was consistently putting myself in a position of need while Gemma never reciprocated with anything remotely similar. It got to the point where Remy, our mutual friend Zena, would often comment on how one-sided our friendship was. "Gemma's always dragging her friends around," she'd say, and I'd be like, "Well, yes, that is true." But deep down, it bothered me because I felt like I was being taken advantage of. Just the other day, Gemma texted me and asked for $500 to cover some unexpected expenses. Now, this isn't an isolated incident, she's done this at least 3 times in the past 6 months. And each time, I've gladly given her the money without so much as a thank you or a mention of how I was doing. It just felt like I was constantly bailing her out. I told Gemma that I wasn't going to be able to help her with this latest request, not because I didn't want to, but because I needed some financial stability for myself. And instead of being understanding and appreciative, she got defensive. "But we're friends," she said. "What's it to you?" I calmly explained that our friendship was based on mutual support, not just me always being there when she needed something. Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole for getting frustrated when my coworker Malik takes credit for my work in front of our boss? So 34M, and here's what happened. I've been working on a project with Malik and Freya for months now, trying to meet an aggressive deadline to submit a proposal worth $250,000 to a big client. I've put in countless hours and have been the driving force behind the project, but when we presented our idea to Cyrus, our boss, Malik suddenly takes credit for my work in front of him. Cyrus mentioned that the idea came from a great brainstorming session between Malik and me, which is true, we did have a good discussion about it. However, when he praised Malik's leadership skills and said I'm really impressed with how our team worked together, I felt like he was glossing over the fact that I did most of the actual work on the proposal. To make matters worse, later that day, Freya comes up to me and says Malik was instrumental in getting the client's attention when I know that I spent hours crafting a compelling pitch and pitching it to the client myself. I feel like Malik is not only taking credit for my work but also undermining my contributions. I've tried talking to Malik about it, but he just shrugs it off saying that's how we collaborate around here. But I'm starting to feel like I'm being pushed out of the loop and that Malik thinks he can do whatever he wants without anyone noticing. It's not just about the money, it's about feeling respected and valued in my own workplace. I've tried talking to Freya about it too, but she just says, oh, don't mind Malik when I bring it up. Which is exactly what I'm trying to avoid. So, has anyone else ever dealt with this kind of situation? Am I the asshole for getting frustrated and feeling disrespected?